Talking about. Yeah.
Kind of like this.
True.
Welcome back to the Cheekcast podcast, episode 23. Titled there is no title. It's titled episode 23. We're not doing titles anymore because we're literally gangsters. Like
literally doing this
literally
live.
I'm literally a gangster. Like
Okay, but not that. But we're literally doing this live.
No, we're doing it live. We're live currently as I'm recording this on Twitch. During a subathon actually that got juice. So granted, it's now 9 hours in, and Tonlo said he'd be back in 6, and I haven't seen him. So
well, we know that he probably won't come back, and that's okay. That's okay.
I'm surprised he showed up this time, to be honest.
Absolutely.
And,
normally he'll give 50 before a subathon, and then just not show up for the actual subathon.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's it's kind of crazy.
And
we don't really have anything on the agenda. Like I don't even think we have like a thing yet. Like a fucking
we really
don't have anything.
No. We don't.
Nothing?
Okay. So nothing.
Oh my god.
So we're completely free balling it.
This is straight free balling.
Let them hang
The
out.
one thing I will say is I'm getting really fucking upset that they keep making Bloodborne trending on fucking Twitter, and it's not talking about a remaster. Like
I wish they would.
Just you don't even have to remaster it. You can release it with the same graphics that bitch has right now. Right?
Do you think it's a conspiracy?
And just put it from 30 to 60 frames, and it'll literally
it would go crazy.
You could re-release it as 60 Bloodborne FPS. Like people would freak out.
It would go crazy.
And buy
if they
it.
did 4K games,
I would literally buy it.
Yeah, 100%.
I would buy it, and I scrolled through Twitter, and there's a dude sucking a dude's wiener. Okay.
Whoa.
Bro, it's in the Bloodborne hashtag.
Okay.
Hey.
Why is it's because it's the doll and the hunter, and this fucking dude. People are weird.
Your algorithms are strange and
that's
busted.
Disgusting.
So I have
you
some
should
news.
give it to me so I can put it on a blacklist.
You should send that link to Thomas real quick so you can
let
never
me just
see it
pull
again.
that down to the stream right now. You can come look at it real quick.
Do you guys see how disgusting this is?
Yeah. So I have some news. The Division 2 is coming to Steam.
Ooh.
4 years after it's come out. So
yeah, but Division 2 was so fun though.
It is.
I had so much fun playing that game.
It is coming to Steam finally, 4 years later. It is a fun game. I don't know if I'm gonna replay it. We put a lot of time into Division 2. It really was fun.
I mean, that was like one of my first videos. Like I didn't even know what I was doing.
You killed
in terms
freedom
of
in Division 1.
Thomas literally said, "You killed freedom." That was one of my first YouTube videos that I actually sat down and edited completely.
We were so young.
It was a terrible edit too. It was awful.
It was so bad.
Literally
I thought
trash.
I was doing something, and I was not. Like,
yeah, you were not.
It was just it wasn't there. I wasn't doing it correctly, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's really okay. But
so if anyone hasn't played Division 2, apparently it is finally coming to Steam. So enjoy that.
The downside is there's nothing good trending on Twitter for me to actually go like a look. Because,
don't worry, I got it. I got news up. I'm gonna guide us.
like I-71, people are freaking out because I-71 is snowed over completely to the point where you can't see the road, so people are freaking out.
I mean, I'm sure there's multiple.
I'm so sick
roads
of
like
fucking Optic trending every single day.
It's good for them though.
Yeah, but no, Optic's training because it's trending because all they do is sit here and shit talk everybody, and people go, "What Optic?" Nobody cares, dude. I get it. It's Scump's last season, bro. We all love Scump. Oh, it's trending because it's Zealander's birthday.
Oh, well, there you go. Fun and exciting. Gran Turismo franchise has now sold over 90 million copies.
Damn.
They just hit their 25th anniversary for Gran Turismo, and it is sold
crazy.
over 90 million copies. That's pretty good. That is, I like Gran Turismo personally, but
that is
great.
a lot. That is a lot of that's pretty good.
That's a lot of copies. Yeah, a lot of cars, a lot of repairs. I don't know how true this is, and I don't really know if this even matters. But apparently Fallout 76 now has more than 13.5 million players. Granted, only 12 are playing actively.
That's what I was about to say, bro. What?
But you know,
bro, Steam charts right now, 9,000 people are playing. So
That's
like,
more
I
than I
mean,
would assume, honestly.
that's more than I would assume too. Like,
100%.
I've been checking the difference between like predecessor and
Yeah.
Overprime.
Yeah.
2,500 on pred.
Interestingly enough, though, and apparently Fallout 76, to add some numbers, players have spent almost 50 billion caps in the game.
Jesus Christ. 50
That's kind
billion?
of that's crazy. But apparently it's gotten better. They've, changed some things, so they did kind of keep some of their audience. So it's pretty cool. Let's check out. New Game Plus is coming to God of War Ragnarok in spring 2023. That's good, right?
It's so far away though. I feel
it
like
should have already been out.
I was gonna say, I feel like it should have. Personally, I mean, I feel like it should have launched with that.
Maybe they
Just
launched
straight
the
up.
game a little too early. You
Yeah,
know
maybe
what I'm
that's
saying?
why.
It's
Maybe
very
that's why.
hard.
Maybe if you would have launched with New Game Plus, you would have won Game of the Year, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it's very hard to say, hey, I'm gonna put your character back to the beginning of the game so you can redo the whole game again. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That is very true.
I'm gonna say, I talking about video games. I played High on Life. Okay,
You did?
that's the Rick and Morty game, which everybody calls it the Rick and Morty game.
Yeah.
So people can say Rick and Morty, blah, 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 you know. Don't buy it on Steam. It's not worth $60.
No, it's about a $30 game.
I would, 30. I'd probably make it
good.
25. It looks really good. It plays really good.
The voice acting is good.
The voice acting is really good.
Yeah.
The fighting gets very, very tedious.
And it's not very polished.
No, the fighting is very bare bones. It's very much run into the zone with this gun that does damage and shoot at the heads of enemies. They can you people will say use abilities. This is strong, that's small, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just best to run in with the strongest gun and just shoot him in the face. I never once had to use the other abilities and everything. The story was really good. Everything was really fun about it. It was a really fun game itself to play. A lot of good Easter eggs.
But, for sure.
Don't buy it. Just buy Game Pass for $5 on PC or $10, whatever it is.
Wait for that thing to go on sale.
And just play it on Game Pass. Don't
or
buy
play
it
on Game Pass.
Don't even buy it on sale unless it goes on an 80% sale. It's not worth $60.
I think it's worth $30, but that's me because of the quality of the game. But regardless, fun game, not worth $60 though.
No, really good game. Except there's just a couple things they did wrong. Like I feel like the sister was like really involved at the beginning and talking to you a lot, and then at the end she was just like, "You're doing your thing," and then she just started trying to fuck an alien. Yeah, top $45. If somebody told me to play that for $45, I'm still not buying it for $45. $30, I'm going and considering it, depending on how much good content there was.
Yeah. How about 25 in taxes?
25, I'd probably buy it for 25.
Yeah.
30 to me is a little much. The best part was making the little bears fight each other and kiss. That was hilarious.
True.
We're not really watching them kiss, but it was just really funny.
I mean, kinda. It was. Riot Games.
Oh God.
Files motion to end deal with cryptocurrency firm FTX.
That does not.
I knew that. I knew Thomas would enjoy that. Yeah. The company attributed the decision to FTX's filing for bankruptcy. Yeah. That Riot is heavily regretting getting involved with FTX.
Yeah, because why would you get involved with crypto?
Because it is Thomas, that could be a long conversation.
That could be a long conversation.
Thomas and I both feel very similarly.
Okay. So what else do we have to talk about?
Yeah, but that's a boring kind of, that even gets like pseudo political, like not worth getting political. Into. Yeah,
we don't do that around here.
No, we don't want to do that. But apparently Riot's pretty not happy.
Right they have like one of their things like that they announced during LCS is like one of the things with the FCS power play or some shit.
Maybe.
FTX power play.
Yeah.
Like,
Imagine. I'm not
like,
surprised though.
oh man, these investments don't look good for TSM. Like,
For real.
Bro, you know, speaking of Riot, you know what's been bothering the shit out of me? Riot posted an official art clip of Raze and Killjoy kissing.
Okay.
Right?
disgusting. Where is this?
So many people
Where's the link? Send it to
are
Thomas.
freaking out going, they're lesbian. What? There's a lot of people saying that no. They're like, no, absolutely not. I'm not playing Valorant anymore. Other people are going, dude, this is amazing. This completely like boosts my fandom entirely. And I'm like, it's literally two fictional characters.
Yeah, it
Look,
is.
man,
Kissing. They're
all those people that just left
they're
Valorant for
not-
that reason.
I'm gonna
they're
blow.
going to play
I'm gonna
Overwatch
blow your
too.
mind. You want me to show you? You want me to blow your mind? They're not real,
Oh my god, what?
dude. There's no way. Killjoy and Raze, they're not real. They're
No.
they're video game
Pixels
characters.
are in a
Who cares if
position.
they're? Who cares if they could literally be rubbing butt cheeks? That what is that going to change? At the end of the
It'll
day,
change-
she's still. At the end of the day,
it'll
she's
change
still
a
gonna
lot.
double satchel and rocket launcher you, bro. Like, who cares what they're doing?
I know, but people care.
I feel like they need to make a 3-minute video when those two are in the same game and they're on the winning team. Like, you know, something should happen. You know.
Oh my god, a little extra heavy ending to the game. That's terrible. Oh my god. Okay.
Feel real to me, damn it.
Oh my god.
Somebody said, I missed the times we could just play video games, enjoy cool characters, and their sexual orientation didn't matter.
I mean, it shouldn't. Who cares?
It's,
They're just not real people.
I'm
like,
just trying to, dude. I'm just trying
You know what
to.
I'm
I'm gonna swing with my fucking dragon and click on his dick because the trigger's obviously his penis, and I'm gonna
Clearly.
shoot you in the head.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you're kissing because guess where your body is? You're on your back, dead.
Sheesh. Moving on.
Sheesh.
Continue.
Epic Games in some hot water. I know a few people already know about this. Epic Games was hit with a $500 million FTC fine in a giant case because of Fortnite and their failure to protect children's privacy. And yeah, they agreed to or were ordered
privacy.
to pay $520 million in penalties and refunds because apparently they violated the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, known as COPPA, and they used
why are these kids
something-
getting all these benefits?
I know, right? So they use something called dark patterns, which is apparently
Spooky.
it's a fancy word for very, very good UI to make people feel like spending money is good.
Dude, you know what that sounds like? You know what that's giving me the vibes of, bro? That's giving me the South Park vibes where they take him to the musical to give blowjobs because of fucking subtext. Like,
oh my god. Well,
I thought you were gonna say that the Tyler creator, his tweet where he's just like, "Step away!" Like, how is this affecting you? Like, this isn't real. Like, it's words on a screen. Like,
it is.
get up and go away.
oh my god, I'm gonna cry. You could just literally, you could walk away.
You could close the window.
The second part is Epic paying $245 million to refund customers affected by their dark patterns and billing practices, which is the largest refund amount the FTC has ever obtained in a video game.
Can you imagine walking into like court with that excuse? Like, I have so much PTSD from buying all this porn.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you. I thought you were gonna say, can you imagine walking into court with that much money in a duffel bag? I'm like, dude, can you $500 million in a duffel bag? You're not making it to that courtroom.
Lord.
Imagine your kid sucks that bad.
I mean, you got a point, Voltage. Like, imagine your kid just being that shitty. Imagine getting duped. Kid shit on.
It was just like the time where the lady tried to sue fucking I don't remember what company it was, but she tried to sue somebody because her son stole her credit card and then
Yeah,
bought a
and
bunch of
racked up
stuff.
a bunch of. Yeah, we talked about that,
He
didn't
bought
we?
like $3,000 worth of shit,
Yeah,
and she sued them for the price of the stuff.
we
You
we
made my
talked about
son
that,
buy this, and I'm like,
My
bro, your
son's so
son
thoughtful.
stole your credit card,
and you're blaming the company.
and
Yeah,
you're like,
He came
it's your
in,
fault.
He asked me where I grew up, what my maiden name was, what my birthday. He's
He asked
such a
me
Yeah,
sweet
it's
child.
what the name of my old dog was. It's crazy.
he asked for my mother's maiden name. I thought that one was weird. Yeah, I imagine. Honestly, imagine.
He said, "What's your password, bitch?"
uh, we also now this week, to change gears a little bit, we have confirmation that Henry Cavill is going to make a Warhammer live series, which is actually really exciting.
Sounds kind of lit.
They
a
said,
lot
dude,
of
this
people
man,
like
you know what?
Warhammer.
This man literally just threw his peace signs up and said, "Y'all don't want to follow The Witcher? Deuces, I'm gonna go make a movie about Darktide," and just left.
I mean,
I don't think it's gonna be about Darktide, but
he is a very big proponent for Warhammer, like the original board game, the original, like he obviously he has a lot of time put into the games, and I know he does the figures, he paints figures and stuff like that, and
okay,
he
Henry,
loves the
I know I'm not
series.
the biggest guy on the planet, but if you get, I can learn how to walk on stilts if you need an ogren.
You need an
I got the
Ogryn?
same
Hell
head
yeah.
shape and everything. I got really
True.
big, thick, meaty hands. I can hold a piece of rebar with one hand.
Easily.
I can be an ogren for you. I know nobody in their mind is going to hear this is going to be able to get me in contact with me.
Listen, if you can send this
Okay?
podcast to Henry Cavill, tell him you need an Ogryn, I got your dude.
I can literally, Henry Cavill, add him on Twitter. I have an ogren for you, and it's just me.
It's just you in an apron from that picture that you took and put on Twitter.
Dude, that would be great. Somebody quote tweet and say, "I got your ogren right here."
Right here, buddy.
Maybe even give him orange cheeks.
Maybe so. Yeah, they need to not fuck it up. But on Henry Cavill really loves the Warhammer series, and I know I'm not gonna read his giant post on it, but he said he really wants to. Warhammer's really never been focused on before, and he really wants to give it the respect and
he definitely did
the vibe that it deserves.
I'm really hoping he does too, because that shit makes me so excited.
I have faith. I have faith.
The Darktide is. I started looking up Warhammer lore because of Darktide, and I'm like, this shit looks crazy.
It's kind of crazy. I have some very exciting news from a couple days ago. Apparently, Guerrilla Games that made the Horizon games?
Yes.
Okay. They have new job listings that seem to, make you think that, or it appears that they are working on a multiplayer Horizon title.
I can't wait till it's just like DVD.
Don't say that, okay? I mean, they could go any different direction.
But I have a dude. If they just make it,
it would probably be like Monster Hunter if they did anything.
Dude, what they need to do, make the same game, but just give her a kid or something, and just let you just co-op an entire playthrough, just like Far Cry 6 did.
Maybe.
Except, don't make Thomas have to play through his own story to get a
just to
wingsuit.
Get
gonna get half.
Because that was stupid.
That was dumb. But yeah, apparently they have many positions, or major positions, open, and it looks like specifically for a multiplayer project. So that's interesting, and
nice.
I'm assuming it's years off, but that would be really cool because if no one's played the Horizon games, they are literally, I mean, Elden Ring was great, God of War is great. Horizon Zero Dawn specifically, when that game came out, it is literally, for not even being a 4K game or anything, it is one of the prettiest cinematic games that you can play. Period. They did it so well, and it doesn't lag.
The only reason
it's optimized
it didn't
so
do
well.
as well as any other game did is because they're really dumb.
Their executive team doesn't know when to launch games.
They're like, what's the closest game that's getting ready to launch? Right when we're perfect. Launch it 2 days before that.
Yeah. That's
and
what
they
yeah.
launch it 2 days, and they go, okay, Horizon Forbidden West, 3 days before Elden Ring.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they've done it twice now. But if you haven't
They should have
played,
picked a better date. You know, Call of Duty was right
100%.
there.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean seriously, they.
M Night shit so long.
Jesus. But if you haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn, the first one, you should play it because it is
It is a great game.
It's pretty good.
great
Yeah, it's
game.
pretty good.
It just looks fantastic. It really does. And since it's now on PC, for anyone who doesn't have a PlayStation, it probably won't look as good as it did on the PlayStation. But
PC Chads, we winning again.
true, it finally came out. But it is a great game, totally worth buying and playing because those cutscenes you see are literally gameplay. That's what it looks like when you slide under giant robot transformers trying to eat you. That's literally what it looks like. It's a great game.
So did you hear why they dropped FTX? Activision Blizzard responded to the lawsuit. And this is what they said. I have a screenshot of it.
Okay.
The FTC's disregard for these benefits to consumers and focus on supposed harms to Xbox's deep-pocketed competitors betrays a fundamental disconnect between the FTC's theories and the antitrust law's underlying purpose, which is to protect competition, not competitors.
You're talking about the Microsoft acquisition, right?
I think so, yes.
The Microsoft trying to...
FTC, not FTX. Sorry, I'm stupid.
Yeah,
the FTC lawsuit.
Yes, they're...
So
Microsoft
if you don't know what the FTC
been...
lawsuit is they're arguing with each other because Microsoft is trying to acquire Blizzard. And the FTC...
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
And the FTC says that it would be under monopoly because it will be. They'll own fucking 70% of the gaming space if they do that.
However, they're saying it would benefit the employees because they'll let them unionize.
Yes.
Which...
yeah, that's not going to happen.
The FTC is asking this court to protect the world's largest gaming companies from further competition from Xbox, and thereby turning antitrust on its head. Blinded by ideological the only thing I hate about these posts like this is that you just use these big ass words for just no reason.
Legal talk. It's like
blinded by ideological skepticism of high value technology. Like, just say, bro, they're blinded because they're fucking stupid. Just like be more blatant. Like normal. you guys are doing this, and the only people that are going to understand what you're saying are people who are involved in this. You guys just need to have you know what you need? You need the fucking the translator for Obama from Key and Peele. You need a hood translator. Like the FTC's disregard for these benefits to consumers and focus on supposed harms to Xbox's deep pockets competitors betrayed, and they get through that whole thing.
CC says he needs the Carl version of that document.
And he just goes, and they just go, hey man, you know the FTC can't do that because of antitrust, man. That's it. That's the whole thing. The whole thing.
No, he would literally say, y'all can't have that much. That's too much.
That's exactly. So to break down the whole lawsuit of FTC for you, here's all it takes right here. It's too much. Microsoft can't own that much. That's it. They're not allowed. That's just it's irresponsible to let them do that. So we just ain't gonna let them. Period. That's it. You want latest terms? The whole FTC lawsuit, too much. Too much. They own it too much. You put your hand in the cookie jar, man, but now your hand stuck and you just want the whole thing. You can't do that. You break the jar. You only get one cookie, bitch. That's it. That's the whole thing. Carl just explained the whole FTC lawsuit. He didn't have to use skepticism, ideology, supercalifragilistic, expialidocious. He didn't have to say any of that.
Yeah, true. Thank you for that. We all appreciate.
Thank you. I needed.
Thank you for coming to his TED Talk.
That's too much shit, my
dog. To answer that, Microsoft acquiring Activision, it would be good in certain senses that are small, but the overall picture is bad. It is never good for one company to monopolizing sounds good. Monopolies are very bad. Then they have full control over deciding markets, pricing. Again, you can't have good without bad. So that's one of the things.
So just imagine the Chinese government, except it's a video game company.
Except it's Microsoft at that point. Yeah.
Imagine that. That's exactly what it is. It's they have full control over everything and anything involving video games.
Yeah, I mean 65 to 70% of the gaming space is an incredible amount of Oh no, it definitely would be a monopoly. Because they would have Xbox has like 43% or something of the console gaming, or 42%. It's something like that. I remember reading an article. Switch has very little, Nintendo has very little, and Sony's up there too. So they would own a console. They are also trying to partner with multiple other PC gaming companies, and they would own one of the biggest PC developers and platform. Like, that's scary because it is a lot to
I
own.
mean,
It is an incredible
it's.
amount of power that
I mean,
Microsoft would have.
imagine this, right? Like between what Microsoft owns, like what is Microsoft? I'm looking up. Sorry, I'm looking up Microsoft and uh Activision right now to get a good idea of what they both own in terms of
Mhm.
like all their big companies. So Microsoft owns GitHub, LinkedIn, Metaswitch, Skype, Xander's, Marion, and whatever else those people might own, right? That's
Yes.
just what Microsoft owns. If
Yeah.
they were to buy Activision Blizzard, they get Activision, Blizzard, MLG, they get fucking Warcraft, Starcraft, Overwatch, Hearthstone, Diablo, Spyro, Tony Hawk, Skylanders, Guitar Hero, Crash Bandicoot, Call of Duty. They get so many video games. And it just
And their
puts them
studios
it
and their
puts them
productions.
not only in a monopoly for video games, but for fucking like almost I mean, they can literally just build technology to only support certain games. It's a legitimate monopoly. It's too much.
It would be, CC, to put it that way, it would be similar, because I mean you have video game platforms right out there, that you can buy games. You have the Microsoft Store, Epic, Ubisoft. You have other launchers slash platforms that you can buy games on. It would kind of be like Steam acquiring Epic.
Yeah.
Similar but not the same, because
It's
they do
similar,
sell some of the same games.
but then that would make Steam. Granted, Steam was a monopoly before, but
There's
the thing
already
is,
arguments of Steam
but
being
the thing
a
is
monopoly.
what people argue about Steam being a monopoly. What they don't realize is Steam is just it's a platform. It's a platform that just they host video games. You can choose. Steam doesn't approach you and go, "Hey, put this game on our platform." You go to Steam and go, "I want to put this game on your platform." They'll go, "Okay,
I
sure."
mean, for the most
And
part.
then they for the most part, and they take a cut. Epic does the opposite. Epic runs at you and goes, "Here, take this money and release it to all these like nobody that plays on Epic because they all play Fortnite." That's what
Well,
it. But I mean,
I'm
most
just
people
not
that
a
have
fan.
Epic play Fortnite. So.
A lot of them. Yeah. Um but it's again, it's not that it's Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard would be good in some ways and not so good in other ways. Microsoft is already sort of a spooky company, and if you get
Yeah,
into
no kidding.
lobbying and stuff like that, like it gets weird if you go down some black holes, but it just we'll see. I don't think that's ever going to go through, because now players are now suing as well. Like, it's getting crazy.
Yeah, I think the FTC going after that is a good idea because it would just be a I think it would just be a bad idea
It's a
to
whole
let
ass
them.
monopoly and can't make a Smash clone. Can anybody,
Uh
really? Can anybody?
what did Microsoft try to make a Smash clone?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Did they?
Which of their companies?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Which of their production studios?
Oh yeah, I forgot they own Bethesda.
Yep.
And King as well.
Mhm.
They own Bethesda. They own Minecraft. They own
Mhm.
Xbox. And they own Windows. They literally own the exact fucking OS that I'm playing video games on. That's I mean that's a monopoly. Dead ass.
Master Chef. Carpet Forza. Yeah. Exactly.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that's spooky. Pass. Hard pass. Slide. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 There's
Oh
also,
man.
just, I don't know if you've heard about it. There is apparently a game either coming out or being worked on. I'm not quite sure. Um, called. Let me find the name. Phantom Fury. I'm
Phantom
very
Fury.
confused about it. It so they just posted a reveal trailer. It kind of looks like an older game. It's hard to explain. It looks like an older game. Parts
It's
of it
not
look
like
older. It's the
80s retro
design.
feel.
Phantom Fury.
It's
Okay, well, I looked it
really
up and it didn't show up on Steam, but I looked it up on here and it shows up.
what the Phantom Fury.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's very confusing. Like I said, it's a modern game, but it looks
It
almost
looks
like
like,
Doom 3
or like a
type vibe,
modern GoldenEye.
or kind of like GoldenEye. Yeah.
Oh, it's made by the same people who made Ghost Runners.
Yes. So I don't know how to feel about it because again, it looks older. It's like Thomas said. But it's intentional, obviously. It looks interesting, like the game itself.
No, it doesn't. It looks like Red Faction.
Yes, it kind of does look like. You are right. It does give some Red Faction vibes.
So here's my thing, bro. Why would I not just go play Red Faction?
Because it's still a new game. It's modern. It should play better, right?
Shelly
Better voice
Bombshell
acting.
Harrison is back in this highly interactive mix of first-person action and road movie adventure.
And that's okay. But here's my worry. It comes out and it's 3.5 hours long. That's like
Yeah,
that.
because that's what everybody's
$60.
because
Yeah.
everybody's at this point in time, they're just pumping out games.
Yeah.
Like
That's true. Yeah.
and I hate to
They're
say
seeing
it, I
what
hate to
sticks to
bring
the
this up
wall.
because I've talked about it and I haven't even finished it. If you don't do all the side stuff, how long is God of War?
12 to 15 hours. 12 hours?
Let's remove all the filler. I'm talking
Speed run.
remove all the fighting because 90% of the fighting is just filler. It's just there to keep you playing the game.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
So let's remove that and do just main boss fights and traveling to the area to like do all the scenic views. How long is the game?
Like I said,
And it's very
10
difficult.
10 or 12.
And I respect, and 10 or 12 is great still to me because it's probably 10 or 12 really good hours.
Hopefully,
But
I would certainly hope so.
I would hope so. But like what I'm seeing happen more with more and more games is just like how in life they spend so much time on the advertising and making it sound fun and making it do this and making it do that, that when you start playing the game, they spend a lot of time on this little nuanced stuff that the game is now 3 hours long. And you spend $60 on a 3-hour game, and like, why can't we just? You don't have to make.
I thought it was robbery having to pay for my own popcorn. I can't bring my own popcorn in that I got from the store. Like,
I'm gonna do it anyways, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's just do a little bit. Just do a little bit, right? I just wish they made games just more involved. I can't really say longer because it's not really longer.
Yeah.
I just wish they'd put more effort into it instead of the perfect thing of this is fucking Callisto Protocol.
True, we were just
so your fear that's what your fear of what Predecessor might become, but the thing about Predecessor is it's a multiplayer online battle arena, not a single player game.
Yeah, every game is different no matter what.
MOBAs will always and forever have an audience.
Twisted
League
said
of
he
Legends
finished God of War in 50 hours, 100%
50 hours.
That's wild.
That is wild.
That is wild.
The hardest part for me for the first God of War was the Valkyries, but the perfect thing of this is Callisto Protocol, right? Callisto Protocol was a really well made game. Like, it looked very pretty. The atmosphere was so good. The story was kind of butt cheeks. Like, I probably could have paid a monkey to write a better story than that, because the story was very bland and very obvious. You can always tell when writers start kind of losing their train when you get to the last 38 minutes of a game,
end speeds up,
and they just go like, you don't learn. If spoiler alert for Callisto Protocol for anybody listening on Twitch or listening in podcast, when you play Callisto Protocol, they story dump you at the very, very, very end of the game. Like, you don't get to learn anything about your character. You don't get to learn anything about why this chick hates him, You don't get to learn about what he did before. You don't get to learn about why he was a prisoner on this fucking prison planet first. They just go, you're here. And he goes, oh, I figured out what you were doing. And then they're like, well, here's the final boss. And then you fight the final boss. And then his thing is he's like, boom, and he hits a button. He's like, you get out. And I'm like, this bitch tried to kill you.
Yeah. Yep.
She was transforming and you did all this for a bitch that tried to kill you. Like,
yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. And to just let me, I'm not really that great of a writer, but I could probably write your fucking games better than you can. Like, you gotta have more of a coherent story.
They should have put it through fucking the AI chat, honestly, whatever, and done it. Write me a script for a video game.
It's frustrating because that game was so well put together, but then they slacked on the combat because I'm gonna tell you, bro, zombies, dude, zombies are so overplayed. The one made, everybody says it was supposed to be a Dead Space, like, not clone, but like, it could have been a great predecessor to Dead Space.
Yeah,
could have been such a good.
It bothered me when you got to the part with the blind zombies, where you couldn't fuck with them. Like, you have all these powers. I'm like, why don't you just put like a chair in front of one of them and see if he just walks over it and like.
No, because if you make any sort of move, they go and they just jump on your shit instantly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is kind of
It dumb. Was lacking in some.
The combat was super boring. It was very repetitive.
The dodge mechanic was a nice idea, but like it relied on the dodge so much, and then the end was totally different, and it was weird.
Yeah, and the end was just run away, because if he touches, fighting the bosses was dumb, because you just they touch you die. There was no oh, I'm gonna block, because they teach you to block, or if you miss a dodge you die and restart the whole section over. Well, there is no manual saving there. If you did all your upgrades before you went into an area at the 3D printer and then went to the next area and died, you had to go back and do all your upgrades again, because the checkpoint didn't save after the 3D printer. It saved before. It saved when you first got to the area. So you had to go through and do, there was one point in time where I did 6 upgrades, and you have to sit there and wait for it to go, here's your gun. And I'm like, okay, it's fucking 5 minutes to doing that. Go to the next area, get immediately one-shotted. Guess what? Got to upgrade my guns again.
Sure do.
And I was like, this is gonna make me want to quit this game, because this shit is stupid.
Yeah, it could have been great.
It could have. And what made Dead Space so great was the xenomorphs. I think they're xenomorphs, right? Is that what they're called?
Sure.
I don't remember. The xenomorphs. That's
necromorphs. There you go.
Necromorphs. Sorry, everything is fucking. It's something morph. All the necromorphs were unique. They were spooky because they were different. And this one, I saw the first zombie and I was like, what is that? Oh, it's infection. It's a zombie. And the only difference between the enemies was they were either bigger with more health pools and could one-shot you, or they just had a police uniform on, or more blisters. And I'm like, wow, this is just, I got halfway through it and I was like, wow, I'm starting to see that this is kind of lame a little bit.
Yeah.
But I wanted to push through. We just watched the end of the game on a YouTube video, because and not even to mention, this man had maxed everything, and it took him 6.5 minutes of mag dumping to kill this thing, and he still had to go get ammo.
Yeah.
He had to stop what he was doing, run around and pick up ammo just to reload his gun so he could finish killing this thing. And I'm like, it's not even worth it.
Unfortunately, it was it left to be desired. Well, we'll see what that new game does. It might flop before it even comes out. I'm not sure. Who knows? Not me. Side note, totally different topic. Did you know that Atari came out with a new console?
What?
Yeah, last year, and nobody knew about it. I think like 7 people bought it. It was called the Atari VCS. And they are now announcing that they're pulling the plug on the whole project. So they're not going to sell anymore. But apparently they put out a console, and I can't get a number on exactly how many units that they sold, but they had a giant loss on it. And they pulled the plug on the Atari VCS.
Oof.
I had no idea, didn't hear about it. I don't know if it was in Europe only. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I had no idea that they had a console. And anyways, it's dying now. So
I mean, I'm
Obviously.
looking at the
It was
specs.
probably dead on launch. Like,
Yeah, like
yeah, last year it was like the middle of
oof.
last year. I'd have to find the article number, but middle of last year they brought out a console and like 7 people heard about it. So there's that.
Yeah, you kind of don't want to make a console when the pieces to make a console are kind of like ridiculously expensive.
That's true.
honestly.
That is very true. But that was interesting, I suppose. Um,
There's another.
another.
They're now. Sorry, you can keep going.
Let's go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to talk about. Just no, you can go. It's fine. It's
Okay.
fine. It's
All
fine.
right. All right. Okay.
Can I go? Can I go?
Oh
Can I go?
yeah, absolutely, Thomas. Just let's all talk at the same time as a matter
Okay.
of fact. Apparently, over 94% of video game sales in 2022 were reportedly digital. That doesn't really surprise me, considering that makes a lot of sense. But
Well, that's because half the time when they sell even
They don't
physical
even sell
copies, they
hard
just put
physical
they just put the
copies
code
anymore.
to go download it off online. It's like
that is
okay,
very true.
Yeah. Oh man, they have 90. It's crazy. The 94% of the games are digital. We don't release physical copies anymore.
That is part of the article, that there are no physical options with some games.
I mean, when Voltage told me I'm gonna go pick up the games from GameStop, the first thing I could think of was I guarantee they were just standing in there like another normal day because there was one person there.
I was like, oh
Because
my god, there's
everybody
no
else just
GameStop
bought
there?
it and preloaded it digitally. He went and got Pokemon.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
There's a big argument on Twitter right now. People talking about SBMM, and
Oh, boy.
normally I get upset, right? When I'm like, everybody talking about SBMM, bro, just quit bitching. FaZe Jev talked about SBMM, and he put it the best way that I've ever heard it put. And let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. It's not SBMM anymore. It is what is it? Elo something matchmaking, or fucking. It's called EOMM, and I can't remember what that fucking stands for. But it's
I
like
remember did we talk about it last week?
Yeah, we did. I mentioned it. I mentioned it about something about
engagement.
EOMM.
Something engagement optimized.
Engagement optimized matchmaking.
That's what it was.
So what people have been confused about is SBMM is skill based matchmaking, which there are games that consistently use skill based matchmaking, and then EOMM is whatever we just said it was. Like, I already fucking forgot. And what that effectively means is, like, if I'm a slow player, it's going to try to put me with faster players, so I get more interaction, so I continue to keep playing the game. It doesn't want me to do too well. It wants me to feel like I can win when I can't, so I continue to keep playing the game, right?
Supposedly.
FaZe Jev put SBMM in the best way he could, right? And it is such a good clip. He said he's so tired of being competitive. He's tired of trying to play against people his skill level all the time. And people say, "Yo, it's so sad that you have to play against people. You have to try against people." He said, "Here's the issue. It makes him wish that he wasn't as good as the top tier players, and he wishes that he was worse at video games. That he didn't get to the point where he's on FaZe as one of the best players on FaZe." That he's not a pro player. He wishes, he said to his chat, "I wish I was as bad as you, so my games were fun again." He said, because all of my games are pro matches. I'm playing against people my skill level. He said, and to be honest, being competitive 100% of the time is not fun.
No, it's not. I mean, that is very true. Now, I have a kind of a question for Thomas. So, like, we've had many discussions, arguments, comments, whatever, about SBMM, ELO, that new EOMM, that they're calling it, algorithm based, whatever you want to call it, whatever methodology behind it. Obviously, it's still all numbers. My question is, so in a game like Apex, Overwatch, in a competitive type team based game, when it comes to matching you up with teammates, whether it's engagement based or whether it's skill based. My question is, so there's millions of people playing these games, millions of matches that happen, right? Like, I mean, it's constantly happening. How realistic is it that their systems, whether they're person programmed or AI programmed, how can their algorithm actually accurately take that data and properly place people where they should or should? I mean, like, we see how bad we play COD. Look at how bad spawn points are. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, a game has a methodology. It's supposed to put you now on another player because I guess that would be safer, which is never the case. But if there's 5 million, 7 million, 15 million people playing a game, these games, how, again, whatever, however you want to put it, I don't understand. I feel like matchmaking works the best in super low ranks for super bad people. I guess where statistics would be like very easily averaged because they're always bad. Their aim is always bad. They don't play a lot, whatever the case is. And super high level players because their aim is very good. They do play a lot. They have, whatever the case, it's very blatant numbers. Whereas the people in between, how can those algorithms, that programming, whatever it is, how can it accurately place all those millions of people in those matches? Because I feel like more people often than not complain than praise. That's my question. It programming wise, how is it possible? I don't see it being possible.
It just depends on what your core objective is. So, like, is your objective to place people who win games more together with other people who win games more until it kind of balances itself out?
Which I think is what CS:GO does. I feel like, because that's based on your own performance and win-loss
there's other
ratio.
things like, is it performance based? Is somebody getting really high KDAs? Like, are they going to shoot up in the ranks higher than somebody who's got a lower KDA but still somehow manages to win more games than the person who has a higher KDA?
Absolutely. I mean,
see,
I definitely
but Call of
get
Duty
it.
also has a weird patent that they use frequently that will nerf you mid game. It'll make your bullets just not hit the enemy or go in a complete opposite direction if you're doing too well.
Yeah,
right.
Because it'll tweak your SBMM in real time, and people have tested it and have confirmed that it actually can happen, and it's actually in their patent for their SBMM that can happen. And people have straight up shown, no, it's not Ricochet, because I don't think Ricochet was in Call of Duty before Warzone got put into it, where they would shoot at somebody and it just wouldn't do anything. It would just it would just go through them or do nothing. And I'm like,
crazy.
That's nuts. And then people started posting that, oh, it's in their patent that they can do that.
Which is, again, kind of crazy.
And I'm like, dude, imagine being mid game and you're 2 kills away from a nuke, and then it just nerfs you, so it takes you 17 bullets to kill somebody.
Yeah. But I mean, and I get what Thomas is saying, because I totally, I mean, if you understand how the matchmaking, again, because like, say CS:GO is a win-loss based, which again, personal performance, it's going based on win-loss, and I think MVP stats came into it as well. Like, if you were getting MVP frequently, I think that it kind of bumped you up a little bit faster.
I mean,
that makes sense though.
Points of data that you can just take from any game based on what a player is doing.
I stopped playing Call of Duty because of that.
What?
Because of the fucking because of getting matched with fucking unbelievably sweaty people.
But again, there is no SBMM in COD.
They can say that, but that's just blatantly untrue.
I think if anything, Call of Duty probably is using that engagement based matchmaking, because it's the people that are sweating, that are playing a lot, that are playing 6-8 hours in a row, getting placed with people that are playing 6-8 hours in a row, and those people more often than not are sweaty. Whereas people like me that hop on for 2 or 3 hours and then don't play for 4 days, I will get 5 matches in a row that are decent. It doesn't mean I won't get placed. As soon as I play 10 games, I'm immediately in lobbies with people 80 times better than I am. But that's it, it gets me.
I mean, that's why a lot of these games implemented like a decaying elo system, because
see, but I agree with the decay eloing system, but
that's what I'm saying. That's why they
ranked mode
it.
in.
Yeah, just put that would fix all of it. Would just put randoms together
SBMM from casual
public.
and put SBMM in a fucking ranked mode.
But then
with the decaying elo.
But then you have something like Overwatch, where they have hidden MMR that takes into account every game type you play. Casual, arcade, anything that is on the main servers, essentially. I'm not talking custom matches, but anything that's like in a standard match. There is supposedly a hidden MMR that is constantly
do you want to tell them about your findings? Because you did a whole research on that.
I sure did. I mean, it doesn't really
essentially
matter.
In short, because she's probably going to correct me in telling you anyway. She found that your account can't just completely get broken.
Your account 100%
your account can get completely stuck in a rank in Overwatch to the point where making a new account just fixes it.
Yes.
And to me, that is crazy because my account is stuck, and and it's going to sound dumb. It's stuck at high elo. At least in Overwatch 1 it was. To the point where me and Lisa would play with just random people in Overwatch 1. And we'd got paired together against 6 grandmasters.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, my highest rank is plat.
It's plat, because you always stop playing.
It's 2958 in Overwatch 1. That was my highest rank, and I don't count season 1 because it was like a rank 67 in season 1 or something. Back before they rechanged the whole ranking system. And I'm like, why am I getting paired up against I've never been in that rank. Because that's what it thinks I'm supposed to be.
Apparently.
If I actually played ranked, I probably and I would have shot up. But I didn't.
Yeah. My account was completely broke. Apparently it's only fixed, and I did find a couple different YouTubers, not professional players, but people that play a lot, high level players or whatever, that have said the same thing. So it's nice to have your own data be, verified by someone else that did the same shit. I literally had an Excel spreadsheet with all of my Overwatch games, and I marked them.
She's not lying. It was like 1,300 games.
It was a lot. And for essentially the issue was the only way to fix a broken Overwatch account when it either doesn't know where to place you or doesn't know how to place you. Whatever it's broken. I don't know exactly what the problem is, but they say that everyone should float around a 50% win-loss ratio. You should be somewhere around 0.47 to 0.53, whatever it is. And for most people that holds true. Most people are like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm about half and half. I wasn't. I would complain about losing 15 games in a row, and people would say, oh, you're just bad, or you're playing with bad people, whatever the case. So I started logging my games since Overwatch 1 didn't do that. And at one point, I had a 28% win ratio. That was the lowest I got. And that was with a couple hundred games I was playing every day. And yeah, I was just losing constant games, and I tracked all of it. And the only way to fix it is starting on a new account, and that worked. Having a new account worked. I was able to win multiple games in a row. Obviously, the same skill level. And the only other thing that made it better was mass playing. Constantly grinding the game eventually fixed it. But I had to play all those games every single day, hours at a time, and it fixed it. But if you take a break, if I took a break for like a week or two, I just went right back to light, have one game.
Overwatch dog shit.
It's something is weird with their whatever systems they're using to matchmake, and they haven't.
What's hilarious to me is they got the arena system in WoW so good to put you up against people you play against, and they can't do the same thing for Overwatch.
Yeah,
literally, just lean back. Hey, can you send me the code for World of Warcraft Arena's SBMM? Okay. And then you implement it. It's that fucking easy. Like you work at the same company.
I mean,
and how do you have one system that works really well, one system that literally it chokes dogs? Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Well, again, that's why I asked, because matchmaking seems more logical in certain games than it does others. There's some games that seem very strange, and I know people that play like Apex complain. You get a group of randoms, and sometimes you get people that are just fucking crazy and carry the whole game, and then you get people that are just completely brain dead, even though it's ranked, and it's just crazy to me how it works. I know how it should work. I can figure it out. I'm sure Thomas knows all about it, but implementation seems faulty in a lot of games.
That's my favorite thing to do when it comes to video games, is tell Thomas about all the bugs.
Hell yeah.
And I'm convinced that me and Critical would be really good friends, because we both did the same thing in High on Life. The first thing we did was push a dude off the ledge to see if he'd come back.
He really did too.
He literally, the first thing he did was go, I just got to see. And he just pushed him off the ledge and he fell. And he goes, oh, he's just stopped. And then he turned around, the dude was still standing there. And I did the same exact thing. And I'm like, wait, I mean, you just got to test. There's no way you can't test.
You have to test. See, I would have never done that. I would have never even thought to do that.
It's just because I wanted to know. I just wanted to know what would happen.
You had to know, obviously. Obviously, you had to know.
Good God.
Those are important questions that have to be answered in any game. And speaking of knocking people off ledges, you guys should play Human Fall Flat again. Because that shit
was pretty fun.
Was so funny.
Maybe.
Or we need another game like that.
I don't want to play Gang Bees. What, Thomas?
So we gotta find new characters. I can't be Tomcat again.
I know. I was the penguin, bro. I can't be the penguin either. I have to do something else. Me and Thomas can go through and play it again. Apparently, I watched somebody speedrun the first level today, and that shit is stupid. He jumped off the map, grabbed the wall, flung himself over to the edge, and immediately fell through and ended in like 5.5 seconds. And I'm like, oh my God.
That's like when people make speedruns out of getting over it. I'm like,
I was just about to say that.
You just throw yourself through the universe.
I don't know how they'd be doing that. That's some superhuman shit.
One of the top reviews I saw is, I would give my friend Josh's left testicle to hear this game's music for the first time again, for Human Fall Flat.
Rip Josh's left testicle.
Somebody said my GF's flat too.
Wow. That's harsh.
How do you spell hilarious that bad? You spelled really wrong.
What?
I'm looking at it.
Human Fall Flat is a funny
Stop
game.
your friends from finishing the map to find out what they're really like.
I mean, that's valid. That's valid right there.
You was having this motherfucker trying to kill me.
This motherfucker knocked me off the map.
Look at the windows of his soul. That's a murderer. It's a murderer.
That's a murderer.
My friend grabbed my ass on multiple occasions.
Hell, actually, y'all did that a lot.
I literally got stuck and looked at Thomas and said, "Help me, stepbrother, I'm stuck." Have you guys? Okay, this is for Twitch. I'm sorry. I'll show you guys after, but if you've never seen that clip, I will show it to you.
You can always cut this section out.
We need a movie
it is really
night.
Funny. No, I'll show
right
it
now.
to him. I'll show it to him later. We're gonna keep reading.
Oh shit!
Everybody says they needed to add workshop support, and they did. Granted, those are old comments. Can confirm the human did fall, in fact, flat. That was a really bad way to word that. The real obstacles were the friends we made along the way.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Would it be nice to have friends? Sky played for 2 hours, never touched it again.
Sad.
It's really, and then this is just sad. I'm 47, so you have different results if you're younger. Nice game, really fun, not too hard to grasp the movement. There's a slight learning curve when it comes to climbing, but easy once you know how. 0.7 hours, never played it again.
Damn, he gave it a shot.
Yeah, he did. This guy's 184 hours on record. 922!
Holy crap.
Good God, one of the best games ever made. I don't know about that.
You sure?
These are all old count. All these are coming from like 2017, 2019.
Well, I want y'all to play that I can't remember what the game is called, but it's the weird looking design one with two knights on a horse, like they're jousting.
Oh,
and it's kind of PvP like, kind of PvP like. I can't remember what it's called, but it looks so goofy. I know. I can't remember. It's not in my wish list anymore. Castle Crashers is really good.
Castle Crashers is really good.
Hard as shit though.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, dude. I know what you're talking about. I know what game it is. I remember seeing it. I remember hearing about it. Thank you for the gift of sub, CC. That's staying in the podcast, by the way. So everybody knows that I'm doing a subathon.
Wow,
that was the one game I can't play on stream ever is Genital Jousting.
Genital Jousting, y'all. If y'all never played it, bro, that shit is hilarious.
It's hilarious, but
it is so inappropriate, but so funny. There's different stories. The sounds. I'm gonna use one word to describe the sounds. No, I'm gonna use 2 or 3 words. Hold on. The sounds in Genital Jousting. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? The first one I'm gonna say is gushy. Okay. Ew. The second one I'm gonna say is sloppy, and the third one I'm gonna say is moist.
And on that note, that's gonna be the end of the episode today. We're just gonna leave you with those 3 words, and that will describe Genital Jousting and this podcast today.
Is it too late to change the title?
Gushy, sloppy, and moist.
This podcast was very moist.
We came in here dry, not knowing, and at the end of the day, we walk out completely lubed up from top to bottom.
That's gonna bring
episode 23 to an end.
Found the title.
My body is now covered in slime like a slug, and I'm gonna slither on out of here. So have a good one. Take it easy, and dust cheeks off. Don't get hemorrhoids. We'll see you the next time. The next time.
Podcast with notes.
With notes, hopefully, where we actually talk about news and stuff. We just don't make it up.
Especially the sloppy news.
We made this whole thing up.
The sloppy news. Good night.
Goodbye.
Good night.